Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing very well. Give me a minute here as I mess around with some volume stuff. I'm going to try and get this sorted out. Let's see here. We need to do, or to figure out some kind of stuff later, but move that a little bit, come back over here. Back over here. I think that's decent as far as whatchamacallit goes, our sound settings. Let's go back up here so I can look at what we're doing. Alright. Welcome in, everybody. I hope everybody's doing alright. Back here. Already did my dailies, got my enkephalin. I hope everybody's doing alright. I am pretty jazzed. I might sound a little bit tired. I'll try to give you guys plenty of energy today, but I have been moving in, as you might have guessed from the title. Let's see. Alright. Which has been pretty cool. I have gotten a pretty nice place. It's pretty much the best option in the area as far as price versus quality, which is very nice. I'm very excited to be on my own again. It's a good place to be, and I'm very happy with it. But it is, whew, man, moving is a lot of work. So I thought I would take a break here, because I've got a cup of coffee next to me as per usual. You guys know the drill by now. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a burn team. We've done the Liu Association stuff, but we've got Sync Association East Don Quixote, which has come out, which she is really cool. I like her style. Let's look at her. Like, look at that style. Look at that. She's so cool. She's so freaking cool. She got some poise stuff going on. It's pretty cool. Now the nerve strike thing, that's pretty cool. And then we also have very, very sad boy Gregor as well. So we're gonna do that a little bit as well. And then we're gonna round it out with a bunch of the other Liu Association IDs. I do not have enough for the Ardor Blossom Ego for Faust. Not Ego, well, Ego equipment. But, her ID. Let's see. Alright. I'll look at him a little bit. And literally, I got these right before I started to stream. I used the shards for Fire Fist Gregor. And did I pull Don Quixote? No, I had her previously, I believe. And since I don't have them leveled at all, and I'm going to be running a mixed team with some Liu, I'm going to have Magic Bullet in here because Magic Bullet is funny. We are just going to run an easy dungeon. Otherwise, I'd probably be running a hard dungeon. Let's see. What do we want to do? Let's go ahead and do that. I don't think we'll do the level. That, then pull that and that. Plenty left over. We are doing burn, so let's get the burn ego gifts. Get Helterfly and what do I want? Let's just get Pain and Stifle Rage. Let's roll with that. got my desk put up today so I can actually stream with you guys, and got my internet sorted out. I'm gonna have to figure out, I can hear that little bit of a background hum from my computer. Let me actually move my microphone a little bit further over. There we go. I'm gonna have to... Oh. It's a little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better. I'll have to figure that out as we go. Alright. Let's see. Let's go Lake World. It's got a couple burn ego gifts. Actually, go back. Wait, did I actually start this as a hard? Started this as hard, which I did not want to do. I may have to restart this. That's kind of embarrassing. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and restart that, because I prefer not to do a hard.
좀 더 단련과 경험의 시간이 필요한 것 같군요.
So we're gonna redo that. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
동구는 점심에도 그리
Got a pass for that? That's hilarious. Speaking of, did you guys see the the official stream for Limbus that went on? That seemed a bit funny. I didn't watch it myself, but as seems to happen, I have seen the aftermath and memes and people talking about it, and it seems like it went about as usual, and I saw the ridiculous amount of lunacy that we got. Good normal, there we go. Refresh there. Could do, yeah, let's do Nagel and Hammer, because I know we've got a lot of blunt that we can play with. So let's look at what we're using here. So let's get those two. Let's get our new ones. And then who do you want to bring in as our sixth? Yeah, let's bring him in. And we'll get the rest of our burn or burn adjacent characters.
이게 끌거 없어. 바로 간다.
But yeah, I got my desk set up. I've got my my Giga desk mat down. My ultra. I could probably fit my ultra kill desk mat on here too if I wanted to. I might do that. Like run it vertically across the desk because it's a pretty big desk.
그거 먹으면 힘이
Pretty big
나니까.
desk. There we go. Voice a little bit high. All right. So burn. Then Don Quixote. Oh, interesting. She's got a split. Interesting. Okay. All right. In that case, let's just go for it and see what we're doing. Started to unpack my figures yesterday, so I've got a random assortment of Battletech and Gunpla and anime figures and books all strewn around at the moment. I've got a lot of it settled around, but we're getting there. We're getting things put together. I've got UMP9 and Ryo Yoshiki sitting out on my desk to my left there, which is kind of funny.
바리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요.
I dig it. I think you can have a little bit of fun. Alright.
그래도 완전 좋은 판단이었던 건 사실이네요.
Might have to turn those voices down, because man, that's loud. Bear with me, folks. I appreciate your patience as I get used to the new digs and how things have kind of panned out with that. Because, like, it's just how computers do, right? Like, you move them half an inch, things go crazy. You move them to a new location entirely, and they just have a heart attack. I feel like I need a tech priest half the time. Ooh, I do want to see her skill 3. Let's watch that. Dig it. I dig it. No, I am not. I am a martial artist. I've boxed, I've kickboxed, I've done jujitsu, but I'm not a whole lot of a what is it called? Traditional martial artist, right? I've got a lot of Western stuff with the kickboxing and boxing, and I've done jujitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? Which is I wouldn't very much call a traditional martial art. So I don't know much at all about Chinese martial arts, which is what I believe a lot of Sync East is based off of, right? So if any of you guys know, please let me know if you recognize anything or anything that I'd be taking inspiration from. Because the only thing I can think of, and forgive me if this is a bit crass, the only thing I can think of is Kung Fu Hustle. If you guys have seen that movie, if you haven't, you absolutely should, because it is such a good movie. It's a hilarious movie, but it's also legitimately good. Like, some of the way it's shot and the use of the CG in it is really tasteful. It's also got just some really good action in it as well, which is crazy for a comedy movie. It'll be a good time. I wish I could remember the names of the actors in them, because I think they all pretty much did awesome. The whole movie, if you've not watched it, is spoofing the classic kung fu movies and the high wire action, like Hong Kong wire films and stuff like that. It's amazing. Everything from, you know, the lip syncing. Like, if you've watched old Chinese kung fu movies, like, they're awesome, but the lip syncing is awful. They're never right on because of the dubs. And then, like, the ridiculous over-the-top fights, the start-stop kind of loose storyline that's going on. Like, things just kind of happen. It's really, really fun. If you're into those old flicks, you'll probably enjoy those as well. Or that movie, rather, as well. Alright. Through here. Ooh, that might be good, because Sync Don Quixote works off of some poise as well. I wouldn't, well, no, I guess you wouldn't want to soup her into a Blade lineage, right? Because BL Don Quixote exists. And while I'm not very familiar with running the Blade lineage team, it seems to me like... Oh, let's change the team. She seems like she's pretty good in it, right? Like, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems pretty dang solid to run her. I mean, especially if, of course, you've got Blade Lineage Merceau, right? Kim So. But that is something that I would like to explore with you guys. Maybe next month? Or maybe I'll do a Gorilla stream or something where I run Blade Lineage through a mirror dungeon. I don't have them leveled, so it might be on a easy mirror dungeon. But it could be fun. It'd be a fun little experiment. See how it goes. Dude, look at that. That's so cool. Again, I love the color and the animation for these. It's just awesome.
저녁만 한 냄새를 맡아버린 손님들처럼 비틀거리고 있네. 이제야 실력을 좀 자주 먹여줄까?
It's funny. I was. It's very silly, but there is a community center kind of gym type deal nearby me where I live. There's actually like a whole network of them throughout the area, which is really cool. There's a lot of different programs that go out there, and one of them is Chinese martial arts. I don't know what specific kind of kung fu it is. It's not Tai Chi. They have a different like little Tai Chi class that you can go to, but that's like early in the morning. But this is like more like traditional martial art-esque, you know what I mean? Which is pretty funny. But the funny thing about that is, I was there recently, and I go by it, and I'm like, man, it'd be kind of cool to do that, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be kind of fun. Just a thing to do. Sync Don Quixote's out, the Liyue Association IDs. I just saw some clips from Avatar The Last Airbender with my girl Toph throwing hands with people. Like, it would just be fun. To be crushed. Alright.
단피가 떨어질 때군요.
Look at that sassy face. Sync East Don Quixote, my beloved.
적의 기세가 확연히 달라졌어요.
조여 목구를 달궈볼까?
Alrighty, yeah.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요. 평소에도 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까?
Also, I'm very much liking how much I can just resonance with this team. I am very much a victim of funny colors together strong. Look, when they make it not as strong as it is, just mix the colors right and make me actually have to think about what I'm doing in this game, I will learn. But until then, funny color is good.
근사하게 먹여줄까?
Let's get that blunt gift. Hated this dude in the Library of Ruin, by the way. I know, before you say anything, I know. I got it. It's not that hard. But my timing, terrible. And so I struggled. With that forever. That realization was awful for me. That and Singing Machine. Did not have a good time with Singing Machine.
잠시 경계하세.
엄청나게 강한 일격을.
Let's see, what else can I talk about? Oh yeah, have you guys seen the anime that's been airing, or is airing, I should say? Was it Ninkoro? Daily Life of a Ninja and Assassin, I believe? Or Assassin and Ninja? Something close to that, anyway. There's 4 episodes out that I know of right now, and I've watched them all. I actually watched the 4th yesterday, last night, after I crashed, after moving a bunch of stuff. And it's been really, really fun, actually. It's, if by Studio Shaft, they're the ones who animate it. And there are parts where you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely Studio Shaft. In fact, if you are familiar with the Monogatari series, which, if you haven't, maybe you don't watch it if you're not super into anime, but if you are super into anime, and you're cool with kind of weird, kind of experimental stuff, give it a try. It's very much a character-driven drama. I may have mentioned it before, but it is, at the very least, an interesting show, and it's animated in a very, very strange way. And Studio Shaft has a couple of things that they do that is very unique to the way that they do it. And so they're doing this new show, right, of a ninja and assassin living together, and there's one scene where, if you know Studio Shaft, you know they do the Studio Shaft head tilt. And so I saw that, and I was like, wait a minute, I know what you are. And so I looked them up immediately, and I was like, yep, I knew it. Sure enough, Studio Shaft. It is quite a good show, though. It's a comedy, sort of. Well, it's definitely a comedy. Kind of like a more mature comedy. It's not like little kiddish, or I shouldn't say little kiddish, but like shonen-esque, kind of aimed at a younger, slightly younger demographic. It's definitely something where it's more meant for an adult audience. Not quite as in your face, kind of like out there as Asobi Asobase, but definitely not as kiddish. There's quite a bit of violence in it. This episode 4 had this whole there was a whole movie's worth of stuff going on in episode 4. There was love, there was betrayal, there was discovery, there was self-discovery, there was intense contemplation. It was the best of episodes, it was the worst of episodes. It is genuinely, it took me on a journey I was not expecting, but I was here for it. It was definitely an experience. I do recommend it so far. If you are looking for something that's, it's got its moments of action, but it's mostly kind of like a slice of life comedy. It's a seinen, I believe it's been tagged as. It's not as well, if you're concerned about Studio Shaft being really, really extra in their animation style, it's much more toned back. It's one of those things where you'll know it when you see it kind of stuff. Episode 4 was, there was a couple of moments where it does the Studio Shaft thing that they did a lot in Monogatari, where they cut in some, like, real life footage of stuff, or stuff that's not animated like an anime, and that was kind of one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, wow, this is definitely reminding me of Monogatari. But those moments where it's intense like that, as far as the editing and animation goes, are few and far between, so I definitely wouldn't let it scare you off in that regard. Another one that's I started watching, I've only watched the first episode, so no spoilers please, is Rock is a Lady's Modesty. That's kind of got an interesting style of animation, where it uses... Okay, so let's set the stage first, right? It's about a chick going to a all-girls school, right? Kind of high-end, ritzy all-girls school, but she's secretly like a rock guitarist, like she's a metal girl, which is pretty cool. As a metalhead myself, I dig it. And so she meets another chick who's a drummer and who's hardcore as well. And the way it's animated when they're playing the instruments is it's 3D animated, which the drums look pretty dang good. And I was watching it while I was playing, and I play drums, but I'm not, I wouldn't describe myself as any kind of, what would the word be? Accomplished drummer, right? Like, you're not going to catch me in a band or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? But it looks very well, and for the most part, it seems like it syncs up really, really well with how the drums are actually played. The guitar is a little bit stinkier, and that's something where I have played a fair bit of guitar. I've toured, I've played on stage before. Nothing crazy, mind you, like that. Don't get the wrong idea by any stretch about my skill, because it is not huge, I assure you. But I am knowledgeable enough to be dangerous. And while it was pretty well animated, I will absolutely give them props. It is definitely of a more questionable quality, let's say, as far as that goes. But it's one of those things where I feel like I'm watching the ability and the skill in animation develop in real time, right? Like, I'm watching it happen. Like, they are playing around with ideas and playing around with how to polish things up and make things move that are really interesting, that are really dealing with a lot of the issues that I've had with 3D animation. A similar thing as well is the movie that came out. I believe Netflix published it, for Blame, which if you haven't watched, I highly recommend watching that. It was really, really interesting, and actually got me to read Blame, read Blame. That's the way to experience it, in my opinion. Regardless, it fixed a lot of the issues that I have with 3D animation of feeling very floaty and weightless. A lot of the scenes in Blame, the movie, had a lot of weight to it. Like, you could almost feel the characters with their footfalls and the momentum, the way it carried, the way they'd stop, the way they'd move. It was very, very, very well done. That was another situation where I looked at it and I was like, okay, there's something here. If this continues to develop, it's going to be really, really good. And I hope that trend continues, because, like, don't get me wrong, I will trash talk 3D animation with the best of them. I will do that. I am not a fan of 3D animation. But that doesn't mean I want it to fail. And trying to take on, to go back to the show Rock is a Lady's Modesty, to take on something as complex as playing an instrument, not just one, but multiple, and having to split your team's focus between those different skill sets and the way of moving, is very ambitious, in my opinion, and it's turned out very interesting. I'm on episode 1. Could they have kind of done their best work up front? Very possible, but I am hopeful for it as well. I'm at the very least very interested in seeing where it goes. As far as the story goes, there's a hook there, there's a story going on, but I'm much more interested in seeing the funny chicks playing instruments. On a similar note too, it appears to me, I don't know how much original music is appearing in the song, but Bandmade did, it's either the opening or the ending, and I love Bandmade. They're a good band. I've seen them live here in the States, which is really cool. I saw them at a festival. They were awesome, by the way. They were completely awesome. They stole the show. They had a lot of people there supporting them and seeing them for the first time as well, which is so cool. And towards the end of the first episode, those two characters, the two main characters, I believe, are going to play together, right? So the drummer and the guitarist, they play together, and the song they're playing, I was looking at the credits when they were rolling, and it looked like Kaname and Akame from Bandmade actually are credited as writing that, I believe. I'd have to go look at it again just to make sure, but that's what it looked like, which is super cool. If they're going to be doing a bunch of songs throughout the show and have the girls from Bandmade, I say girls, but they're grown women. They're incredibly good musicians. If they got those girls writing the music for the show, it's going to be really cool. Alright. Talking about something else that's cool is between Fire Fist Office Gregor and Sinky's Don Quixote, we are chewing up these mirror dungeons. I might, well, they aren't leveled, so running it on hard wouldn't really be an option, but I definitely want to do that on hard. Do like a mixed burn team again later on. Alright, don't have a whole lot I'm liking. from this? Do that. We're just gonna feed Sinky's Donkey Hode poise. We're trying to feed her poise until everything she does just is an instant death fist. Just absolutely annihilates anything in front of her. That'll be funny. Alright. Let's try for a burn ego. Yeah. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Inward ashes. Hey. I'll take it. Keep the burn going. Can't sniff that.
동구싱크 삼바 돈키호테.
Alright. Ah, it's Fey Lantern. Hate this guy. Not because I don't like the fight or struggle with it. Just because I just can't turn one him, essentially. And that makes me sad. Because you gotta beat up him. And then he'll jump up out of the ground. I'm like, man, come on. Just want to beat you up. It's like second phase Cromer. I'm like, man, I just want to throw hands. That and the fact that she cleanses into her second phase. Because my dream is to be able to set up Time Moratorium with the Donkey Hode T-Core and just stack up damage, and the moment she goes into to phase 2 on her turn, just explodes into a million pieces. I think that is such a funny mechanic. It is genuinely one of my favorite things in all this. Oh, and speaking of, I mentioned the live stream, the official Limbus live stream that happened. I didn't even ask to see if anybody was excited for the next Kanto, because that's coming out like this week, isn't it? Doesn't it go live on the 15th, I want to say? Which is crazy. It feels... I know it's been a little bit, right, since the next Kanto, or the last Kanto came out, featuring Miss Don Quixote. But it feels like it really turned around. I'm quite excited for it. I am really liking the setting that we're moving into. I like Shishun, which is Honglu's sister, if you are not caught up to the story. And I'm going to keep it pretty spoiler free here talking about it. But I'm liking the setup. I'm liking who the antagonists potentially are. I'm liking who our new allies and characters potentially could be. I'm very excited about it. Alright, we're gonna take a gamble here and fight Ardor Blossom Moth. That's a quick aside, because I have a bad habit of losing runs to Ardor Blossom Moth. For whatever reason, Ardor Blossom Moth and me, we just don't get along. It's like me and Tequila, man. It's not good. This? That's unclashable. That's fine. Actually, let's do that. Let's do this. Yeah. Do that there. Put that back on there. Alright. Alright. Awesome. Try not to die. We already got a lot of... Oh, yeah. Ardor Blossom Moth is just such a bag of hit points. Absolutely insane. I think we won't have too much trouble this time around, though. Hopefully. I say that, but... Okay.
출발해 볼까요?
Okay, not terrible.
여긴 답답한데. 나도 나가서 싸우면 안 되나?
계약대로 하자고요.
Flip Dark Flame. Yeah. Doing those numbers. Actually, do that. Put her on there, so we have a better likelihood of getting our damage off there. Since we've been talking mostly about movies, which I intended to come in here and talk about getting into my new plays, but hey, you know, that's what we're here. We're just here to ramble a little bit and have a little bit of fun, you and I. But did you guys see, since we're talking about movies and TV shows, did you see that Kiki's Delivery Service was going to be in theaters soon? I think it's next weekend from now. I think it is. Like doing a rerun, not rerun, rather. But they're doing an event where they're going to be playing it, which is pretty freaking cool. I very much am considering going to see that, because I do like Ghibli films quite a bit. There's just something about them, you know. There's a cozy, well, not all of them, but a lot of them do have a cozy quality to them. That's really, really nice. Yeah, there we go. And Kiki's is that's a good coming of age film. If you guys have not watched it, it's very wholesome. Very, very wholesome film. About a girl and her cat and growing up and kind of going out, striking out on your own and having setbacks and both successes. You know, and it teaches, in my opinion, teaches, but it's got some good stuff about working hard and not giving up, treating people right. It's definitely one of those movies where you could pretty much watch it with anybody. You know, it's like I mentioned with Free Run, I think before. It's definitely one of those shows where you can be like, you know what, I can watch this with my mom. It's probably a pretty good show that's family friendly and good to go. I think they did that a little while ago here in the States with, was it either Spirited Away or My Neighbor Totoro? If you guys know, let me know, because I feel like I've got a memory of that happening not too long ago. I'm just waiting for the next Makoto Shinkai film to come out and everybody just go crazy and all the weebs come out to go and view that in theaters. I remember that happening when Your Name came out. Actually, my best friend actually went and saw that with his then girlfriend, now wife, in theaters together as a date night, which I think is hilarious. Because if you looked at this guy, right, if you looked at my best friend, you knew nothing about him. You know? You looked at him, you were like, there's no way this guy likes anime. He looks, you know, he's a big dude, strong dude. He does some cool, hardcore stuff for his day job. Works hard, strong dude, built like a fridge with arms. Not the kind of person you would look at and go, yeah, that dude's a weeb. Actually, you know what he kind of looks like? He kind of looks like Baxter, if you have ever watched that guy's stuff. Like a slightly more built Baxter, but he's quite big, quite tall. He's got the beard, shaved head. It's like a big teddy bear. He's a funny dude too. That's something I'll poke him with every now and then. I got him into, I wouldn't say got him into, but I showed him a lot of Ghibli movies as well. He seemed to like them quite a bit.
크게 의미 있는 성과는 아니지만요.
Actually, he's the guy who got me to watch very recently. I watched Apothecary Diaries, and oh my goodness, that was such a good show. I can't believe like I hadn't watched that show at this point. I'm no spoilers, guys. All right, I've only just finished season 1. I absolutely adored watching that show. The bait at the end of season 1. Oh my goodness, man.
그쪽은 적입니다.
It was so good. I really enjoyed it. And I'm gonna watch season 2, and I'm gonna try and keep my expectations tempered. But oh my goodness, man. I really liked the opening for the first opening for the first season. I liked how stripped back it was, and I liked how much that it didn't give away. Like, it was just Mao Mao, our main character, and her, kind of like dancing and singing. And it didn't show any kind of like future events or future characters that we hadn't seen yet. And I really appreciated that, especially with a show that is a much more slice of life character drama, right? Which is something that I think didn't work as well. I didn't like as much about the second opening, is that it did show more stuff and kind of hint at what's going to happen. Not crazy, you know. It's not like, oh, I saw the ending in the in the opening or anything like that. But it was one of those things where I'm like, I can kind of see, I can see some threads here, and I kind of wish I'd been blind to.
깔끔하게 잘랐습니다. 이제 니콜리나와 솜씨가 비슷해지는데요.
But still, both openings pretty dang good. Where it really shines, though, is the character drama of it. I think it's written pretty decently. It's based off of a light novel, which I would like to read. I almost picked it up, actually, last time I went over to the Japanese bookstore, because I love the Japanese bookstore. But I can talk about that later, because I can talk your ear off about it. But the writing was fairly good. It was very competent for everything it needed to be very good at, right? I will say there is a little bit of, wow, this character knows a whole lot about a whole lot of things that I couldn't quite hand wave away. It got to be a little bit much in my opinion, but overall it does a good job of inviting me in and helping me suspend my disbelief about everything that's going on and just enjoy the show. And that is something that I've really enjoyed. It feels like it respects me as a viewer, right? Like, it's not just going to give out a bunch of crap. It's not going to take the characters as presented and needlessly change them or shoehorn them into situations because of a trope or because of fan service. Not that fan service is wrong, right? I don't think that fan service is wrong. But how is a better way to sum this up? Let me think for a second. I think a better way to sum up what I feel about it is perhaps... I didn't mean to choose this. I was thinking too hard. I think perhaps the characters are written in a mature way for a mature audience, right? So the characters are who they are, and they aren't going to magically flip-flop into being something that they are not. And while the long dormant shipper in my heart kind of wishes it was the opposite, the actual, you know, kind of grown, kind of been around the block, seen a lot of different shows person that I am, really appreciates that, because there's a lot that they could have given into for the hope that it'd be a little bit more viral, or get a couple of views, or get a little bit more engagement, or be a little bit more palatable. And I really like that it sticks to its guns. I really respect that. You know, Mao Mao at the start is still Mao Mao. You know, throughout any situation that she goes into, she is herself and her character, and that goes for all of the characters that you meet. And the only time where a character kind of flops is if you are learning about that character. And that's something as well. You can present characters and their change, or present that you didn't know everything about a character in a way that is still internally consistent, right? And it isn't just, it doesn't feel like a betrayal of expectation. And it comes across as a very, what's the word? It becomes across as sincere, I suppose would be the word. Like, there's not a situation in there outside of like the odd comedy moment, which are expressly comedy. Like, you know they're comedy when they're happening, and it's fun. But all of the stuff around that entire story and how it's written is incredibly sincere. There's a story that is being told, and it wants you to take it seriously. And that's such a nice thing, I think. Because it's very easy to walk into a show, whether knowingly or not, and go, man, I really want to get into your story, but you're not writing it in a way that lets me take it seriously. You know, and that doesn't just mean, oh, it's got to be gritty, or it's got to be dark, or everything has to be serious, but looking at the way that something is written, and keeping it consistent, you know, being able to tell that someone has put thought into how it should go, is really, really nice, and it really draws me in. Just personally, it really draws me in and makes me want to know more, right? Because I know a character isn't just going to turn on a dime, you know, and be something that they're not, or they're not just going to be shoehorned in for a specific purpose and then they're done. All the characters, even if you don't know them, I believe that each of those characters has a life of their own outside of what we're seeing, or that what we are seeing. There we go. English is hard. Don't bully me. What do we do? Do we nocturnal sweeping this? Yeah, it's nocturnal sweeping this. That'll be funny. So, kind of slight spoilers before we get into nocturnal sweeping, because this is some of the most recent content that has been released, even though this is a mirror dungeon and not in the story. If you don't want to see anything with nocturnal sweeping, maybe avert for this part. I don't think it's anything too crazy and spoilery, but if that is something you are concerned about, please be warned.
불꽃을 벼리겠소.
어쩐 일로 진짜 도움이 되는 걸 걸치고
I do really like Jinchi as well from Apothecary Diaries. He's so funny.
버티나 보자고. 끝내.
I took to calling him the Fox, like right when I saw him. 'Cause I looked at him and I was like, there's something about this guy. I'm not gonna say anything about it, even though it's been out for a little while, because I want you guys to go and watch it yourself, because I really enjoyed it, and I hope you'll really enjoy it as well.
잠시 어지러워서 못 봤어요. 뭐또 대단한
순식간에
일이라도
끝내죠.
하시겠죠?
But he's really cool. That's the other thing too. There's so much care with the supporting characters. It goes back to mentioning that I believe all the characters have lives outside of what we're presented, but just the fact that the side characters are written in a way where they are not overtaking the show, right? It does not have the Ruby problem where you see a bunch of different characters and it wants you to care about them. No. It is done very tastefully, where the side characters and supporting cast actually do support the show, and are done very well. And they really bring up the show, and they give windows into different parts of the setting. They give a different perspective on the different characters in the main cast. They bring up different ideas and topics and really enrich the show. I definitely think that it's something that you can look at and get a lot out of. Alright.
벌써 화끈하네.
I said it before, but I love that splash art of Sinky's Don Quixote eating. It's so funny to me. There's a certain sass in the way she's just kind of lounging about while there's a brawl going around in the tower, just eating her noodles.
예사롭지가 않은데? 아주 작살을 내는가?
The ID story for that too was quite good. I enjoyed it quite a lot. As far as the ID story for Firefist Gregor goes, he's a sad boy. You guys know the drill with Gregor. Which, I did see a very interesting theory about Gregor the other day on Twitter, of all places, which is not somewhere I go for much very intellectually stimulating stuff. But in this case, I was pleasantly surprised. It made the case that in Limbus, right, we've got the mirror worlds where the IDs come from, right? The different versions of the character that we can use. Well, it put out the theory that our main world, not a mirror world, but our main world, Gregor, is the bad end ID. Like, he is the bad ending for Gregor. Which kind of sucks for him, right? But it makes sense. Like, for pretty much all the IDs for Gregor, he is in a, at the very least, a slightly more positive situation, besides like Firefist, of course. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Because, like, look, I'm not gonna give too much crap to early Limbus writing, right? Far be it. But there is something to be said that he has not really gotten a resolution from his trauma, his mirror dungeon, right? In the story. Which, could that be early Limbus writing kind of finding its footing? Yes, absolutely. But I would like to think that there's been a little bit more setup than we might give it credit for. Kind of the same with how Rodian has been handled. Especially with the comment in Checkup, in Limbus Checkup, where we got to see the Limbus and Capellan department, the LCED, with Hohenheim and that crew, where it was said that he's got the potential to be a freaking monster, and got the really funny scene of all the crew lined up in order of how strong they were before joining the company. And of course the family tie to our main antagonists that we've been presented. Which I'm very interested to see how that's gonna go. I mentioned it before, I don't know how long they want to make Limbus. Like, I don't know what their time frame is for full lifing or end of lifing Limbus. But I think it would be really interesting if we had, like, we're in Inferno right now, if you click on Drive, before you go into the individual cantos. If there was a full-on Purgatorio and then Paradiso. I don't know if that's something Project Moon wants to commit to, but it would be kind of cool. I'm still, by the way, I still desperately want more Distortion Detective. I want that Distortion Detective visual novel that was kind of floated about after, is supposed to come out after Limbus finishes. I just want more Moses and Ezra and Vespa anyway. I like that crew. They're quite cool. They're quite funny.
적들이 저녁 만찬 냄새를 맡아버린 손님들처럼 비틀거리고 있네. 한 접시 간사하게 먹여줄까?
Oh yeah, I forgot Warner was in this encounter. I was like, man, that little brother of the middle is really tanky. Like, I know that's kind of their thing, but jeez, that's ridiculous. It's like, oh, of course, it's a named character, not just a normal goon. So, there you go. I should learn how to read. That's the moral of this story. Alright, ignition. He goes down. Then we will just burst this guy down. Ooh, not a good matchup, but this guy can't roll. He sucks. He's terrible. He's bad. Get this guy out of here. I did think it was really, really funny what happened to them in Nocturnal Sweeping towards the end. If you know, you know. Again, I'm not going to talk about it because it's still spoilers. Maybe once the next Kanto actually comes out, I'll talk about that and some of the things I liked about Nocturnal Sweeping. But in the interest of not spoiling anything for you guys, I will keep that to myself. But I did think it was quite funny. Alright. I don't think I'm gonna do anything too crazy here. Ooh. Don't want to do that. Accidentally clicked out of the menu like a silly goose. Let's open that up. Then, what do you think? What do we want to fuse? Let's fuse a blunt gift, I think. Yeah. Throw one of those in there, one of those in there. Let's just see what we get. Chains of loyalty? Nah, it's a middle ID thing, but yeah, you know. Could be good. All allies in the same faction deal 5% more blunt damage. Hey, that doesn't suck. If they're metal, you get 10%. 3 per turn, 30% per turn. And it offense level up. That doesn't suck. Especially with, who was the recent one? Was it Sinclair, right? Middle Sinclair that came out? I didn't pick him up because I don't run the middle IDs myself. I don't really know what to put them with, right? Because we've got Middle Dawn, we got Middle Merceau, and now Middle Sinclair. But what do you suit those with for a blunt team? I genuinely don't know. Maybe like Murderer Faust? So we've got 4. But what else would we put? I'm trying to think. I mean, you could put in the association IDs, right? Because they use a lot of blunt, but what are your options? You could maybe put in Reindeer Ishmael, right? And there's Reindeer Honolulu now, so you could kind of put in a little bit of charge. But how are you gonna, get those IDs to function? I don't know. I have to think about that. Maybe I'll look at that at some point. That might be something I can do at the stream later, where we can try and put together a blunt team. That's kind of okay, or not completely worthless, rather. And we try and figure that out. Because that is something I'd like to get better at, is putting together teams in Limbus. Because I am very much a, this looks funny and this looks funny, let's put them together kind of deal. I still need to put together a sinking team as well. Because I have Wild Hunt Heathcliff, and I desperately want to use that ID. It looks so cool. I really like that ID. But I have nothing to run with it, essentially. Last time I did the Nocturnal Sweeping map in Mirror Dungeon, I did it on hard, and this is so much easier. Oh my goodness, dude. If you guys run this map on hard, it feels impossible. I mean, it is brutal. I do like the design for the The sweepers.
수영상을 입은 상태네.
I like them quite a bit.
발 걷어붙이고
They're funky little guys.
편하게 잠들 수 있도록 침대 볼을 깔아주자고.
순식간에 끝내줘.
Now, the sweepers in the library of Bruina, however, not as big a fan. Those guys mess me up. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It was not a fun time getting through those fights. Maybe after I finish Mahotsukan no Yoru and finish off playing some Star Sector as well later on, maybe I'll pick that up and do a run through of it. That could be kind of cool. That's an idea. Maybe I'll do that later on. I'd also really like, because, ooh, he's yelling. We did get word that Touhou 20 would be coming out this year, so I do want to play that later on. That's going to be in several months. What I would like to do is play some Touhou on stream. That'd be really fun. Play through some like Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, which is really fun. It's Touhou 6, which is my personal favorite. Do some like Mountain Faith and Perishable Night. I've got PUFE, which is Phantasmagoria Flower View. That would be fun to do. Do that. I do have Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom, which that is a hard Touhou game. That's just a hard shoot 'em up in general, man. That could be quite fun too, though. Maybe I could do like a Touhou roulette day, you know? Take the day, get some snacks and some drinks around me, and just go full on neat, and just play games for hours and hours. Just play some bunch of Touhou. Do that, maybe play some Touhou fan games as well, because I would like to play Luna Nights on stream as well. I really enjoyed playing Luna Nights. That's an incredibly good Touhou fan game. But there's a bunch of them out there that are really good.
바리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요.
Let's see. There we go. That should be somewhat good. Well, maybe. Till Gregor gets his tail whipped by a sweeper. Nice. Ooh. There we go. That's a little bit better. Come on, Otis. I know you're a hack. I know you're old. Those knees are hurting. But you can do it. I believe in you. There we go.
바리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요.
Bam, 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 bam. Oh, Thunder Spurs. Who needs me?
괜찮은 공격이네요. 앞으로도 그렇게만 해주세요.
Ooh, nice. My buddy that I was talking about earlier, my best friend, was just texting me. I think he wants to play some games a little later. It's good that we're starting to get towards the end of the stream here. We've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 together and are having a grand time of it. We have had so much fun. We have laughed our behinds off in that game. Because I try and give a little bit more of a buttoned up appearance on stream, but when I'm with that dude, it's so good. It's so funny. We let loose. We make jokes.
두드려
Uh,
패배를 꿰뚫는다.
I mean,
이게 우리 사건
we try and do some unhinged stuff. He's playing Dark Urge, by the way, which if you've played BG3, you'll know what that means. And he's playing Paladin. It's a good time, and he went in blind. This is his first time playing BG3, or really any Baldur's Gates game. I've played all the Baldur's Gates games at this point, so it's awesome. I just let him go, and I follow him, and I make comments and jokes along the way that he doesn't know until he walks face first into the situation about him. It's so much fun. That is definitely the way to go, man. Playing Baldur's Gate 3 with people on the second or third or fourth playthrough, it's a game changer. It's fun. Alright, but in any case, guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with me. I appreciate you letting me rant and ramble and rave about random stuff with you guys, and I hope you had a good time. I'm going to get in touch with my homies, and if they're not around, I'm going to be getting some more stuff taken care of here at the new place. I hope you guys have had a good weekend. I hope you guys have had a good day. And guys, it's Mother's Day. Call your mom. Tell her you love her. You know? It's important stuff. But I hope this has been a good time for you guys. And I hope you guys have a good week coming up. And I will certainly be talking to you guys soon. Peace.